From our studio located in Madison, New Jersey, this is Real Good News.
I'm like the man they call a seeker. I'm a real truth speaker, and I always cut right to the core. And you know I really ask, cause I get right to the facts and get the answer to what I'm looking for. I can pronto play a liar, I'm a tireless and quiet. I've been a furious faker since my youth. My motives on above ground. I've always been a bloodhound for the truth. The truth.
Welcome back to another episode of Real Good News. I'm your host, Lisa Allen. In this episode, we're going to take a look at what's happening in Morris and Union counties. Tommy Nonnemacher joins us with his coverage of local sports. And then we're going to get a dose of health from our wonderful friend, Kate Tente, over at Healthy in the Garden State.
Coming up on this week's segment from State Broadcast News, we'll learn about a new app called Flash Food that lets you identify food bargains on perishable items in local grocery stores. It's especially important now with the cessation of SNAP benefits for millions of Americans November 1st.
I'm Alan Swanson. Today, I'm going to be talking about voter turnout, or lack thereof.
Georgette is off, and we'll return for our next episode. This week, we opened our show with a scene from a special community event in Madison, New Jersey, where residents came together to honor the 1825 visit of Marquis de Lafayette. The reenactment took place on the same historic grounds once known as Bottle Hill, where Lafayette was welcomed by townspeople nearly 2 centuries ago. Volunteers dressed in period clothing, recreating the moment with care and attention to detail, giving everyone a glimpse of what that visit might have felt like. We chose that image to open our show because it connects the stories we tell today with the same spirit of unity and pride that has always defined this area and the people who call it home.
There is an important update for families who use SNAP benefits here in New Jersey. Because of the federal shutdown, November benefits will not be added to EBT cards on November 1st. This is a temporary pause while federal funding is on hold. Any benefits that were already added before the end of October will still be available to use in November, so families should check their balance before shopping just to be sure everything is in place. The state will continue processing applications and renewals, so no one needs to stop or delay their paperwork. As soon as federal operations restart, the remaining benefits will be released. This is an uncertain time for many households, and moments like these remind us how important community support truly is. If you or someone you know needs assistance, local food programs and community partners are ready to help. No one should feel alone in this situation. For more information, visit njsnap.gov. This week in Morris County, local officials are taking proactive steps to help families ahead of the expected pause in SNAP benefits. With thousands of residents set to feel the impact, the county is coordinating with food banks and community organizations to provide emergency support to ease the looming pressure. Residents who rely on Families First EBT cards are being urged to check their balances and access available food resources as soon as possible. Meanwhile, food pantries stand ready, asking for donations and offering additional meals for those facing benefit delays.
Union County is stepping up in a big way, turning a challenging moment into an opportunity for neighbors to support neighbors. In response to the federal shutdown and the strain it has placed on many families, the county has launched Stock the Shelves, a county-wide food drive filled with community spirit and compassion. Starting on Monday, residents can drop off non-perishable food and essential items at locations throughout the county. From pasta and canned goods to baby supplies and everyday essentials, every donation will help a local family feel cared for and supported. County leaders say the response has already felt very special. Community groups, schools, and everyday residents are preparing to pitch in, eager to make sure that no family feels alone during this time.
In Morris County, we are lucky to have some of the most beautiful parks and open spaces in New Jersey. Anyone who has ever walked our trails, fished in our ponds, or watched the leaves change in our protected woodlands know how special this land is. It is part of who we are. Soon, voters will be asked whether the county's Open Space Trust Fund should be allowed to support caring for land that has already been preserved. The fund already exists, and this proposal does not raise taxes. It would simply allow some of the money to be used to restore habitats, control invasive species, improve water quality, and make sure the parks and natural spaces we already own stay healthy for the long term. Supporters say it just makes sense. We worked hard to preserve this land. Now we need to look after it. They point out that the forests need managing, streams need cleaning, and trails need attention if we want our parks to stay safe, healthy, and enjoyable for families. They see this as an investment in the future. Others in our community are cautious. They agree our parks matter, but want to be sure that the funds stay focused on buying land before it is lost to development. They say once open space is gone, we cannot get it back. They also want to be sure this money is used responsibly and does not slowly drift into routine maintenance or projects that were never part of the original public promise. Both sides care deeply about Morris County and our natural spaces. This decision comes down to how we want to balance protecting new land with caring for the land we already saved. It is a choice about the future character of our parks and the natural beauty that makes this county feel like home.
Union County voters have another way to make their voices heard this weekend. On Saturday, November 1st, the county clerk's offices in Elizabeth and Westfield opened special hours so residents could pick up a vote-by-mail ballot in person, fill it out privately, and drop it off securely before leaving. This option gave voters more flexibility and peace of mind. Instead of waiting for mail delivery or worrying about postal delays, residents could handle the entire process in one visit. For many, it was also a chance to ask questions directly to staff and make sure everything was filled out correctly before submission. The expanded hours were part of the county's ongoing efforts to make voting easier, faster, and more accessible for everyone. By offering both in-person and mail-based options, Union County continues to ensure that every voter, no matter their schedules, mobility, or personal circumstances, can take part in the democratic process. Election officials say the program has received strong bipartisan support. Leaders across the county agree that secure and convenient voting options strengthen turnout and confidence in the system. It also helps busy working families, older adults, and first-time voters take part without feeling rushed or confused about their choices. With Election Day now just hours away, county leaders are reminding everyone there is still time to make their vote count, whether by mail, by drop box, or at the polls, or in person.
In Morris County, this November, the community is invited to shine bright and green, literally. From November 4th through Veterans Day on November 11th, local homes, schools, and businesses are asked to light one or more green bulbs in visible windows or porches to honor our veterans and show support for those who served. The county's Board of Commissioners officially declared the week of Operation Greenlight for Veterans Week, aligning with counties across the country in a simple but powerful tribute. The green light serves as a symbol of hope, renewal, and forward movement for service members transitioning from military to civilian life. Several county buildings will join in too, glowing green each evening as a public reminder that veterans are seen, appreciated, and never forgotten. The gesture is both personal and collective, a visual moment of solidarity in neighborhoods and communities. For many veterans and families in Morris County, it's more than a bulb in the window. It's a message of thanks, respect, and ongoing support. When one green light goes on, it becomes part of a larger pattern of care, lighting the way to those who gave so much. Let's all play our part and be part of the green glow this week. And while Morris County encourages everyone to shine a green light of gratitude at home, the community will also come together in person to honor our veterans. Morris County will honor its veterans at this year's annual Veterans Day ceremony on Wednesday, November 5th, starting at 6:30 p.m. at the Administration and Records Building in Morristown. The public is invited to attend and join in paying tribute to the local service members. The event will include the presentation of Distinguished Military Service Medals to 7 veterans from across the county, a celebration of the United States Marine Corps' 250th anniversary, and a special posthumous recognition of a Civil War Medal of Honor recipient from Morris County. The ceremony is a meaningful way for the county to pause, reflect, and say thank you to those who have served. It also reminds us all of the importance of honoring their commitment and sacrifice. Attendees are encouraged to arrive early for seating. The county looks forward to sharing this evening with the community in one united gesture of respect and gratitude.
The County of Union, New Jersey has announced that more than $1.4 million has been awarded through its Open Space, Recreation, and Historic Preservation Trust Fund this year. These funds will be distributed across 3 programs: the Kids Recreation Trust Fund, which received over $784,000, Greening Union County awarded $100,000, and Preserve Union County, which received nearly $300,000. The Kids Recreation Trust Fund's awards will improve playgrounds, athletic fields, courts, and walking paths for children and families. The Greening Union County grants support tree planting and environmental sustainability efforts in public spaces. The Preserve Union County awards will go towards the restoration and protection of historic sites and expanding educational resources at museums and landmarks. Recipients span the whole county. For example, municipalities such as Elizabeth and Linden will receive funds under the Recreation Program, and several historical societies and museum groups are among those selected for the Preserve grants. These investments aim to preserve the unique character and history of communities in Union County. The full breakdown of how each municipality and organization will receive this funding is available through the county's Trust Fund Grants page. Union County's Regional Communications Center is hiring. The county is looking for new dispatchers and communication staff to join the team that handles emergency calls for police, fire, and medical services across multiple towns. It's a career that demands focus and calm under pressure, but also one that makes a direct difference in people's lives every single day. Located in Westfield, the Regional Communication Center has been the heart of Union County's emergency response system since 2012. It serves as a shared resource that helps towns save money while providing faster, more reliable emergency response. Instead of each community managing its own dispatch system, this centralized center uses advanced computer technology and trained professionals to coordinate 911 calls and direct help where it's most needed. In 2014, the center's training program received national certification, making it one of only a few in the county and the only one of its kind in the tri-state area. County officials say that the regional system improves communication, reduces costs for local governments, and ensures that every resident can count on quick, coordinated emergency response. For residents, that means when you dial 911, your call is answered by experts who are trained to listen, stay calm, and send the right help fast. This holiday season, families and train enthusiasts of all ages will want to mark their calendars for a return to the miniature world. From Friday, November 28th through Sunday, December 14th, the annual Model Train Show and Open House brings a magical mix of craftsmanship and nostalgia to Union County. Set inside the A. Paul Mallory Railroad Center in Union, visitors will have the chance to explore an 11,000 square foot layout. Children can peek into the running trains, while adults will appreciate the detail and engineering behind a massive bi-level corkscrew loop and hand-laid tracks. In addition to the expansive HO scale layout, the event offers G-scale and N-scale displays, a dedicated kids' play area, a snack shop, and a railroad-themed memorabilia. Opening weekends run from November 28th to the 30th, followed by further weekends on December 6th and 7th and December 13th and 14th, with doors open each day from 11 a.m. until 6 p.m. Ticket prices are set at $10 for adults, $8 for seniors, $5 for children, and children 2 and under attend free. Proceeds support the Model Railroad Club and its mission to educate the public and preserve railroading heritage. Whether you're a lifelong train fan or simply looking for a memorable outing, this show offers delight, wonder, and a chance to connect across generations. Be a part of the holiday magic on the rails in Union County. And now here's Tommy with his local sports report.
Hey, real good news. I'm Tommy Nonnemacher. So this fall, several Morris County high schools are producing theatrical productions. And here are 3 standout plays that you'll want to mark your calendars for. So up first, we have the Morristown High School Theater Department presenting an adaptation of Little Women. The show runs November 21st to 23rd, and the student and faculty say that this production emphasizes the bond of sisters and the courage to break social expectations, a fitting theme for today's audiences. And you'll definitely want to see at Whippany Park High School, the theatrical department producing Puffs, which is a hilarious homage to the world of wizardry that was made popular by Harry Potter, but with a spotlight on the characters who weren't exactly destined to save the day. Students will perform the show from November 14th at 7 p.m. and on November 15th at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. It's a small cast taking on over 50 roles, so the show promises energy and fun, impressive versatility from performers, backstage and on stage throughout the show. So lastly, at Morris Hills in Rockaway, the fall production of Marion or the True Tale of Robin Hood is something you're definitely not going to want to miss. So big news out of East Hanover. The Hanover Park Hornets have done it again. The Hornets just wrapped up an incredible undefeated regular season, finishing 9-0 and dominating the SFC American White Division. They're led by quarterback Jack Kovacs and running back Mark Perillo. The Hornets' offense, because of these two, has been just unstoppable. And the defense standouts conclude Ryan Medic and George Abdi, who anchored down one of the toughest defenses in county history. Their latest victory sealed the perfect record and cemented Hanover Park's spot among the state's top contenders heading into the playoffs. Head coach Dan Fulton just praised his team's work ethic and unity, and he said that the season has been a testament to preparation, heart, and community pride. So the Hornets, they now turn their focus to the postseason. We wish them very good luck in their amazing run. And more exciting football news in Union County after clinching the number 2 seed in the North 2 Group 3 playoffs, and after locking down the Big Central Conference United Gold Division title, the entire senior class of the Summit High School football team has been recognized as this week's Salerno Dwayne Player of the Week. That's pretty sick. The Hilltoppers wrapped up the regular season in just a dominant fashion, defeating Scotch Plains Fanwood by a score of 35-7. It was a power performance led by quarterback Alex Schwark and Matt McKeever, a junior, who combined for an impressive 190 rushing yards on the ground. With confidence and momentum on their side, the Hilltoppers now look ahead to the playoffs, ready to continue their winning tradition and make a deep postseason run. Although the New York Jets have a bye this week, we cannot go without mentioning just the incredible weekend win we had last weekend, who many have said was inspired by the tragic loss of the former Jets teammate and legend, Nick Mangold. The Jets experienced their lone win of the season with a dramatic 39-38 win over the Bengals on Sunday, which marked their first triumph of the 2025 season. Quarterback Justin Fields he looked great, completed 21 for 32 passes for 244 yards and a touchdown, which just led the men in green to a great win. Season high total of 502 total yards. That's the latest from the Jets. And just that real good news, our sincerest condolences to the Mangold family and the community of the New York Jets in general. Thank you so much. Back to you.
Now we're going to turn things over to our friend Kate Tente with Healthy in the Garden State, who is bringing us another dose of health.
As we explore the incredible range of health resources across the Garden State, it's become clear that even our full-length monthly episodes of Healthy in the Garden State can't capture it all. That's where this Dose of Health mini-series comes in.
What I've seen, Kate, is these athletes are looking to be a part of something and to be accepted. And in a group like this, there is total acceptance, love, there's a teammate, there's a bonding that comes through being on a team and cheering for somebody, or when someone had a bad play or they're upset, they struck out, some would start to get teary-eyed, and you'd see one of the teammates put their arm around them and say, hey, it's okay, we got you, we're teammates. So that kind of brotherhood, sisterhood that comes through with being part of a team is so important to them, because a lot of them throughout their lives have not had that opportunity or have not been a part of something.
I'm thrilled to bring you these individuals creating positive change in our communities. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube at Healthy in the Garden State to catch every new release, and visit healthyinthegardenstate.com for even more health-forward resources.
Right now, millions of Americans could be facing some hungry times as federal SNAP benefits are cut off because of the federal government shutdown. But Steve Lebecken has some information about an app that can help people find affordable food.
Thanks, Lisa. Millions of Americans who depend on federal assistance to feed their families will be going hungry starting this weekend. Now, SNAP stands for Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, and because of the government shutdown, it'll stop sending support to families in need November 1st. Affordable grocery app Flash Food is seeing a spike in downloads as social media posts are spotlighting the app as one possible source of help for people losing their SNAP benefits this weekend. Flash Food offers big discounts on groceries, particularly fresh food like produce, meat, and dairy. And that's where SNAP recipients will hurt the most starting November 1st when they no longer have funds available on their benefit cards. Joining us to talk about the crisis today is Flash Food CEO Jordan Schenk. Jordan, thanks for joining us on the broadcast.
Thanks for having me, Steve.
So maybe why don't we start a little bit at the beginning? How did Flash Food get started as an app, and what was the target when you originally designed it?
Yeah, so Flash Food started, we've been around for about 9 years now. And I would say the origin story is the same as the story today. You know, we recognize that in our world of food, 40% of what's created finds its way to landfill. The majority of that is fresh produce, meat, dairy, all of that good stuff is what ends up in landfill versus on the plates of families. And that's perfectly good food to eat within our grocery stores. And so what we sought to create was a tool to enable grocery stores to find a home for a lot of that food that wasn't a landfill, and for communities across North America to be able to access that food for discounts up to 50% off. And that was the original creation of it. And that is the very much so existence today.
So how does Flash Food help people who, in this case, are facing the cutoff of SNAP? How do they use it, and what can they hope to obtain in terms of food?
Absolutely. So it's Flash Food. We're a free app in all app stores. You essentially download it, you hop on within seconds, and in your area where we're available in over 2,000 locations across North America, from the Myers, Giants, Kroger. We're available. Giant Eagle. We're available for shopping, and you'll shop. You buy the items. You get to see all the items. You get to see the produce. You get to see the meat. You go into your local store and pick it up. It's that simple. Folks tend to get some of the big ticket items from us, like high quality meats. I saw a post just yesterday, someone shopping it in the Richmond area for Kroger talking about this amazing Wagyu steak they got for over 50% off. Like, we really, really provide folks access to great food. And to date, we've, saved folks over, $330 million. We've rerouted hundreds of millions of pounds of food to the plates of families. And in this moment, what we're seeing, and why we're having this conversation, is folks are recognizing that places like Flash Food are another incredible outlet to find really, really incredible affordable deals. And we've just seen, even prior to the November 1st date, exponential traffic and downloads.
Now, you are partnered with certain food stores, certain grocery stores. How does someone work with Flash Food to get them to partner with grocery stores that are relevant in their geographic area?
So typically, we actually have all grocery stores and folks like us listen to the communities first and foremost. So if we're not in your area, we have request pages on our website. Grocers are listening within their stores to bring us in, but it's actually quite simple on the grocery side. We simply integrate into the morning routines. We're integrated into grocers' technology, and can be set up in a matter of days to make it happen. And we are growing across the United States. We just launched Los Angeles this week, bringing sort of massive produce boxes to a number of stores with Gelson's, the grocery store out there. So I would encourage people to use that request form to talk to their grocery stores. We we are in contact with a lot of folks, and we are growing as fast as we can to help continue to service communities and grocers.
Now, are you getting any kind of feedback or pushback from the government about the things that you're doing that maybe run counter to this policy of cutting off the funding for SNAP beneficiaries?
No, I mean, Flash Food exists as a, we are still a for-profit organization. We exist to create that accessibility point. But, I would say we're in this lovely space of existing because, all people want to eat food well and affordably and make sure that food that, millions of people across this country spend a lot of hours to create finds a home. So we've always had strong relationships with, I would say, with any group in various governments, just given the nature of our mission is really to service anyone's communities and assure that the food isn't finding its way to landfill. So we've always been seen as a, incredible tool in the ecosystem.
And what about the food industry, the manufacturers and the distributors? Are they embracing the concept?
Absolutely. Again, I think where we exist is in this space of any one human being, whether they're a retailer or manufacturer, doesn't want food to go to waste when folks are looking for ways to feed their families healthy, great food. So I would say there's always a tremendous amount of goodwill. It's incredible getting to work for and, lead an organization where, you're walking in the door with open arms, just given the sort of nature of what we offer, because we're dealing with food that would have otherwise perfectly good food found its way to anything but someone's belly.
And can you give us a sense again of the kinds of foods that are available through the Flash Food app?
Absolutely. So we are notorious for our millions of produce boxes that are sold. So you could find these incredible 5-10 pound produce boxes for, on average $5. So you're getting really, really good fruits and vegetables. You can see everything in it. You will also find all varieties of meat. And like I said at the top of this call, high quality meat. You'll also find dairy, eggs, anything that you'll typically find fresh. You can find cakes, breads, you name it. The trip with our app, though, is because we exist in the world of what I would call ephemerality, unique inventories every day. We tend to have folks checking to get the best deal every day. What shows up the day before is not the same the next day, but there's always volume on the app.
And is there any kind of income requirement or income restrictions for people who want to use the app?
No, everyone is welcome on the app. So everyone's able to shop.
And what kinds of future enhancements are you looking at for the program?
Oh, future. I mean, the biggest thing right now is I want to make sure that we're in, every corner of North America and this planet. So the name of the game is more retailers. I would say we are always working on enhancements to get more supply on the platform with our retail partners, better prices for folks, new categories that are sort of beyond what we're seeing solely in the fresh grocery. So those are things that we'll start to see is just a lot more diversity on the platform, which is amazing because, Steve, what I think is some of the most sometimes heartbreaking and craziest things. There's so much stuff that finds its way to a landfill that has plenty of potential for people around the world, candidly.
Now, if a retailer wants to get in touch with Flash Food to sign up to be part of the program, how do they get in touch with you?
On our website, there's a form, and folks can always LinkedIn me if they want. I'm an active responder as our CEO, but it's pretty easy within our website to get in touch with us. You'll see that. Same thing for shoppers. Very easy to get in touch to ask questions. We've got a great group of people that work here that are here to serve and get food to as many people as possible.
It sounds like a great opportunity for people to maybe help with all the food that's getting thrown away that shouldn't be thrown away and getting people fed as well at the same time. Jordan Schenk is the CEO of Flash Food. That's it from us at State Broadcast News in Cherry Hill. Lisa, back to you.
Today we have a look at how Morris County continues to invest in the outdoors and make it easier for all of us to get outside and stay active. From new neighborhood paths to scenic boardwalks and peaceful wooded stretches, these upgrades are designed to bring nature closer to home and give families more places to walk, run, and enjoy the fresh air. Diane has the full breakdown of the latest trail improvements coming to our communities. Diane, take it away.
Morris County is continuing to strengthen its reputation as one of the best places in New Jersey to get outside and enjoy nature. A new round of trail improvements has been recommended, bringing fresh walking, hiking, and jogging opportunities to 8 communities. These projects are all about connecting neighborhoods, opening access to natural spaces, and giving people more ways to enjoy time outdoors close to home. In Dover, a nearly 1-mile trail is planned for the watershed property. It will wind through wooded land and give residents a peaceful, easy escape into nature without having to travel far. It is the kind of place where you can start your morning with birdsong or unwind after work with a quiet walk. Florham Park is focusing on Spring Garden Lake, where a new trail loop and boardwalk sections will bring people right to the water's edge. It is designed to be family-friendly and welcoming, offering a comfortable place for an afternoon stroll, a scenic moment by the water, or a place to push a stroller and enjoy fresh air. In Hanover Township, the Forest Way Greenway is moving forward. This stretch will cover about 1.5 miles with natural surfaces and wooden boardwalk through open meadows and wetlands. It is the kind of trail that invites you to slow down, take in the scenery, and enjoy the feeling of being surrounded by nature. Madison will continue expanding Summerhill Park's trail network. This nearly mile-long addition builds on earlier work in the park, helping connect neighborhoods and giving residents more room to stretch their legs. Whether you prefer a quiet walk or a quick run, this extension adds more breathing space for everyone. And Netcong will introduce a trail that follows this historic canal and wraps around Lake Musconetcong. This project ties the waterfront back into town life, giving residents a scenic route right in their backyard and highlighting a piece of local history at the same time. Rockaway Township is planning a trail along a former railroad corridor. When complete, this will offer a safe, peaceful alternative to walking along busy streets, creating a corridor for exercise, fresh air, and neighborhood connection. Jefferson Township will build more than 1 mile on the Compton-Goebel extension, opening access to thousands of acres of preserved land. This project invites hikers and nature lovers to explore deeper into forested terrain and discover long-protected open spaces. And in Long Hill Township, a 1.18-mile loop will be completed in Central Park, featuring stone dust paths and boardwalk sections through wetlands. This trail ties together recreation areas, local businesses, and natural scenery, creating a space that feels both convenient and truly connected to nature. Altogether, these upgrades represent a major commitment to outdoor recreation and community well-being. Morris County has invested nearly $8 million in its trail program over the past decade, adding more than 35 miles of pathways for residents to enjoy. And this next round only builds on that momentum. For Real Good News, I'm Diane Smith-Kirsch.
And our good friend Alan Swanson returns for another look at how we vote.
I am recording this commentary on November 1st. On November 4th, voters in New Jersey will go to the polls to elect a new governor. All 80 members of the New Jersey Assembly, county commissioners, and many local officials across the entire state. We often hear about voter turnout and how important it is to get out the vote. The obvious question then becomes, how are those voter participation efforts affecting the number of eligible voters who are participating in our elections? I think after I finish this brief report, you may very well join me and conclude the get out the vote efforts are a failure. It is rare in a presidential election for any winner to receive anywhere near a majority of the votes from those Americans who are eligible to vote. Now let's look at New Jersey. In 2024 in New Jersey, there were 6,682,699 registered voters. 4.3 plus million voters turned out, or 65%. That means that, like the national figures, more than a third of registered voters did not care to vote. A quick look at the voter turnouts by county shows the top counties by turnout and the counties with the lowest turnouts. When we move to the New Jersey off-year elections like this year, we see a huge drop in participation. Keep in mind, it is the local officials who are collecting your property taxes, appointing the boards who are handling planning, construction variances. They appoint a town administrator, they listen to your complaints, and much more. Yet, as we see, the participation in those off-year elections is dismal. I'm using the example of Union County, where I live, but the figures hold up across the state. In Summit and Westfield, you could be elected to municipal-wide office with just less than 25% of the total eligible voters. However, when we look at Elizabeth, Roselle, Linden, Union, and Rahway, it takes less than 10% of the registered voters to elect you to a public office in an off year. Think about it. That means 90% of the eligible voters did not select those who are making the important decisions in those municipalities. I have to admit to you, I'm at a loss to come up with a logical or conclusive reason there is so little interest in voting for our elected officials. You can cite factors such as lack of trust in the system, disconnected from the candidates and the issues, feeling powerless, or that it just doesn't matter. Yeah. Or the refrain, I'm not into politics. And more, and I'm sure that you can identify. I am also at a loss to provide solutions that might increase participation in our democratic process. It's concerning because the most important factor in maintaining a healthy democracy is for the people to participate. I have to end today's commentary by saying it is up to all of us to participate, to make our democracy thrive. Your vote does matter. And last year's election for council in Boonton proves that, when the winner was selected by one vote. Finally, in researching this topic, I honestly did not expect the numbers to be as outrageously low as I found. And I'm going to continue to look into this, and I'm sure we're going to be talking about this again in the future. I'm Alan Swanson. Thank you for watching.
We hope that you enjoyed this episode of Real Good News, and we will be back on November 16th with another episode. Until then, I'm Lisa Allen with a reminder that real good news is always worth sharing.
Now, Allah is halfway around the world. For the truth can put on its pants. Tell the truth. So my mission without fail is helping you prevail. You got to give the truth a fighting chance. Tell the truth. Beauty's truth, truth is beauty, and it's my civic duty to always write a reality. More than love, money, fame, more than rip on your good name.
Tell you something.
else about the truth, it will set you free. On the road to truth you take, there's only two mistakes. Don't go all the way or don't even start. Now sometimes